Hey, I swear to God, I'm not jerking off. I'm playing with my red dot because it's a superior sighting system to iron sights. If you would like to learn how to use this superior system than iron sights, today I will show you how to use this superior system than iron sights. Why am I saying it's a superior system to iron sights? Because it's a superior system to iron sights. I'm going to stop saying it now, but red dots are superior systems to iron sights, and today I will show you how to shoot them. So you may be wondering, why should you listen to me on the internet? I'm just a dude you don't know. Well, my credibility, if you will, is I've been shooting red dot handguns for over a year now, and that's the only thing I started on. I never shot iron sights before until a couple months ago when I got a new gun that didn't have a red dot on it. So I know how to shoot red dot, and I've been shooting red dot. I have about 4,000 rounds through this gun alone with several different optics, but I have about, I'd say, 1,000 with the SRO on it. But we're gonna go shoot it right now, and then we'll get into the tips and tricks and how to shoot pistol red dot. It's just a cold start. I'm gonna do a bill drill from concealment. Screw out my timer like a fucking idiot, but we're gonna do it anyways. Hey, give me a beep. I pulled all of it right. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, you didn't see that.
Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream.
My eyes went here.
Shaboom. Life could be a dream. If I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom. Can prove it to me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello again. Shaboom. And over the rig, boom. They don't need in now. Shaline, the line. Oh, life could be a dream. If only all my brushes.
Alright, let's talk about presentation. Everybody's big complaint when they're first starting out on red dots is, I can't find the dot. A couple of ways you can fix that, but first one that's most important in my opinion is draw. And if you're drawing inconsistently, you'll never find the dot. But if you draw through a period of steps and press out consistently every time, you'll be able to find your dot every time, and no matter what position, like you'd be laying sideways and press out and find the dot immediately. So what type of presentation should you have? A lot of people like to do this number right here. Like, I just lost my dot right there doing that. So you're not swinging your optic up in your line of sight, and you're not bringing the gun pointed in a weird direction, like pointed up, because you're not looking for your front sight post, you're looking at your target. So the most consistent way to do this is, no matter which position you're coming from, if you're concealed carrying, appendix, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever you want to do, or duty carry on your hip, I always like to bring it to my sternum and then press out, and you're following your eye line. And I'm just going to press it straight out instead of coming and doing this number and bringing it, dipping it all the way up. It's because you'll come up too far or not come up far enough, and you'll never find your dot. So sternum, and then press straight out to where the way you can do this is just like imagine you're bench pressing, and you're doing a bench press. That's all you're doing, is coming straight out, and your body will find the natural point of aim. So you just have to train and dry fire through that. I grab my gun, I bring it up, I level it to the target, attack it with my support hand, and press straight out. I've never not found the dot when I do that, but I also dry fire a lot, and that is another big tip, because you won't find the dot always at first. We'll go over that later, but you don't want to come out and then drag your arms up. As a bad habit, and it will cause you to lose your dot. So tip number 1. All right, guys, the second topic of today's video is being target focused. With irons, no matter what people say, you cannot shoot target focused accurately with iron sights, especially at distance. You can get away with it up close because you're not actually aiming. Nobody needs sights up close, like, to be honest. Being target focused is a huge advantage, especially at distance, because you don't have to trick your brain into choosing which distance to be focused at. You know, you're not being focused on the thing 2 feet in front of your face. You're focused on what's happening downrange where you're supposed to be shooting. You're trying to save your life or put down a threat or something. So you need to be able to see what's going on, and this will help a lot for people with bad eyesight. If you have, is it farsighted? If you're farsighted, this will help a lot because you won't have to focus on the irons. If you're nearsighted, then you should already have glasses, so that's another thing. But we're gonna roll some footage of showing different focuses, why you can't shoot distance with iron. I know people can do it, but they don't do it well, so red dots will make that much easier. All right, so we'll be showing the red dot first. As you can see, the camera is focused on the gun. This is not how you want to see the target. See how the target's all blurry? This is exactly how it'll look with your vision. If you're focused on the dot, you'll just see a big dot. And if we focus, leave it on the target. Now, you can see the target clear as day. My hand and gun are blurry. There's a crisp dot sitting on that dude's sternum. So that's exactly how it will look. It'll even look better than this, being target focused, because you'll have 2 eyeballs looking at the target, and your left eye, or non-dominant eye, will only see the target, and it will start to blur out and not even see the red dot. So when you present, all you see is a target and a dot floating above it, and that's exactly where your bullet's going to go when you pull the trigger. This is what it'll look like if you have iron sights. So this is our iron sight gun. These are a good set of iron sights. So as you can see, again, it is focused on the gun. You can barely see the target because it's super blurry. And I take the gun away and focus on just the target. Now my gun is really blurry, but I can see my high-vis front sight. But are my sights lined up properly is the question. Because in order to shoot iron sights, you have to be able to line up that front post inside the rear notch perfectly. Even this side-to-side motion on a red dot is very pronounced. So if I lock these 2 guns together and show you that, you see how much difference that dot is moving and how far off you would be moving just enough with your irons. So shooting with irons is much worse because you can't tell exactly where your bullet's going because your front sight post is so fat. And with red dot, it will point you exactly where your bullet's going to go, and you don't even have to worry about where you're focused on. You just shoot at the target and put the dot there. All right, so we have 2 high-vis black ring targets set up. I'm going to shoot one of them with red dot and one with irons, and I'll not cut it at all just to show you how it is, but we'll do it real quick. All right, we'll do right with red dot. And this with irons. All right, so as you can see, I have a very tight stacked group right here. Very tight. And I got 1 in the center and 3 or 4, I think I did a 5-round group, yeah, all outside of where I was aiming at. This is almost touching, this is literally touching each other. So that's visual example of red dot versus irons, and this is much worse at distance. I was shooting literally at 5 yards. Both of these groups will open up. This one will start missing the target before this one will. All right, so another very useful tip for picking up the dot and making yourself stay target focused, because whenever you're dry firing, you're not looking for rounds on impact, so you're not completely target focused, or you'll trick yourself not to be target focused because you're thinking too hard about picking up the dot. So shooting occluded or training occluded, which means literally just covering up the window of your optic to where you can't see through the window. Your dot will still show up, you'll see it, but you won't see the target through your optic. So you have to force yourself to use your non-dominant eye to look at the target and then stack the dot over that image. You'll see what I'm talking about if you ever do it. So, all right, so we talked about presentation, acquiring your dot through proper presentation, why you should stay target focused, and shooting included. The rest of it is the easiest thing ever. It's just shooting. So tracking your dot and recoil is not that hard. You literally just have to shoot. I can't teach you how to do that. You just have to have a tight grip and shoot. That's something you have to learn yourself. I can't just come and do that for you. So tracking the dot through recoil is not that hard. It's gonna rise. If your gun has a lot of recoil, it's gonna come completely out of your optic and then come back down. So you'll have to train live fire for that one and just get reps, and you'll start shooting that completely fine. All right, so obviously I didn't go over zeroing your red dot. I already have a video on that if you want to go check it out. Posted like 2 weeks ago or something. It's not that hard. It's actually easier than shooting red dot itself, or learning how to shoot red dot. So everything about shooting red dot is easy if you just apply simple techniques from this video. It's not that hard, but I look forward to hearing y'all's experience shooting, and I appreciate y'all watching, and y'all have a good one.
Nice was that.